Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Benjamin. Welcome to this week's episode of Recap. And for sure, this time, we are for sure going to get through this. I will not screw anything up. My sincerest apologies on that. One little mouse click completely derailed the entire show, or at least the intro, but we are back, baby. As a reminder, if you're not able to catch us live, you can always catch us on YouTube at Hat-Club. Be sure to subscribe to us, which is a fancy word for follow, and give us a like what you see. Um, my apologies again, Instagram. Thank you for coming back in. Sorry about that. And of course, chat very lively today because this is the place that asks the question, hey, do you like hats? And if the answer is yes, you definitely came to the right place. Shauna SFC, Peyton Spen, Snacks TV, JM1620, Crow 10, Cap Crusader, LeBang Jr., M Don 27, Yodi Fitteds, Vibe Canda. My name is Eric S Man OC, James Grambo, XI Trilla, Ugly Man Chief, Indigo Main. Nice. Warrior X 408 406 Brims, third in line. David Kearns. Who else we got in here? A lot of other people. Raw Fitteds. Feel a couple other names like overlap and stuff like now. Big Show 215, Jacob Fitteds, Elk Dot, Rashad Kicks, etc. etc. Once again, my apologies. I don't do this show alone. Gonna bring on somebody who's got more professionalism about himself, and that, of course, is Mr. Tafuri Taylor. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, Ben? It's a little bit of a rocky start, but it's okay.
Dude, it is a wild day today, and I don't understand why.
You know what? Wild for Wednesday. I guess those two W's, are just doing things. But
exactly,
it's going to be a wild day because if you like hats, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Recap, where we answer Ben's greatest question. Do you like hats and do you like trivia? If you like both of those things, you're definitely in the right place. So what's going on? Yes, and everyone, big shouts out to chat for keeping Austin and his pup Max up in prayer and good vibes. Austin, we miss you, buddy. But hoping that you and Max are doing well wherever you are and chatting and watching the show with us. But let's go ahead and roll on with the show. What's up, Jacob Fitteds? Have you seen Jay? What's going on? Vibe Conda, Hugh Tefner. I feel like every week you have a good one, bro.
Always.
Raw Fitteds, what's going on? Asher, what's up? Started GoFundMe to upgrade the upgrades. At this point, we're in 2027, brother. I don't know if you guys really want us to start shooting an AK. That could get really kind of crazy. What's up, Eric? What's up, David? Everybody? No, absolutely not. Big Show. I'm not reading that because no, I don't associate with those activities. But yes, T, the first part of that. Love that. What's up, Elk Dot? But today, obviously is a really, really great day. Some of you guys may have heard about, a possible Hattie winner that might be joining our show today. Shouts out to AB. If you caught that, you are right. But before we get into AB and the great pack that he cooked up, I think, Ben, it's time for us to show
Sight Sleepers.
Bring
it on.
So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and get into it. Let's see here. Entire screen. Tefaholic is insane. Is that what we would call somebody that's addicted to me? I don't know if is that a clinical term? Hopefully there's medicine for that. Too much Tef is not good for a balanced diet. Anyway, welcome to the Hat Club website, where obviously we have the Bakunawa graphic. If you guys have been paying attention to the socials, Bakunawa is dropping tomorrow. But like I said, look at the banner to see things that have released, things that we want to highlight, and maybe some collections that have released and we are highlighting because we haven't had anything new come out yet. So we'll jump into Bakunawa in a second. But as always, if it's your first time to the Hat Club website, first of all, welcome. Glad to have you. And if you want to see what's new, you can either hit the new button, or if you scroll down here, there's a banner that talks about new arrivals. Great thing about new arrivals, it shows you 940s for you 940 aficionados and 5950 styles. So you get the best of both worlds. So we're going to go to the view all. Also, make sure if you're shopping on the website, use that rewards tab and make sure you sign into your Hat Club account so that you can use rewards towards your purchases. Definitely a great way for you to use points and to be able to get hats for a cheaper price. So first up, we have a slew of A-frames. So for those of y'all saying, where are the A-frames? Surprise, here you go. Um, Obviously, I'm doing this at my own chagrin for booze, but we first start off with the A-frame for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It is an A-frame, so it is a black on black with a gray undervisor, black adjustable snap feature here, raised LA logo, no side pads, so this is a plain Jane, gray UV. And something else that I think is really cool that the ecom team has put forward is talking about accessories. So a lot of times we talk about buying hats, but we don't always talk about things for taking care of your hats. Well, ecom team's got you covered. We have the Hat Club Essential Hair Hat Care Kit. So that includes spray as well as a brush, because most of our hats are polyester and we need some good stuff to delint it. And if you need if in this case, obviously a hat stretcher wouldn't be needed, but if you needed a 5950 because maybe you couldn't get your size, throw in a good old Hat Club hat stretcher in there as well.
Why not?
So, because why not? Exactly. A-frames are $40. For those of you that don't want to spend the full 52, well, A-frame is the route for you to go. So like I said, we released a huge slew of these today. We've got LA, we've got the Phillies with the old English P logo. We got the B for the Brooklyn Dodgers, Block S for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
We got D-backs, Houston Stros, the Mets. Unfortunately, it's not a tritone. Sorry, Cap Crusader. We're working on it. And then also the San Diego Padres. So this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 different styles. If you don't see your team here, don't worry. Ben's going to kind of take us through some additional things that will be available very
That's right.
soon.
I'm going to jump in real quick. So those 8 are obviously on the website right now, but we actually have 7 more that are going to be dropping on Sunday, specifically the Oakland A's, to which case all of them black crown, black upper visor, gray under visor, black snap feature in the back, black sweatband, of course, and every single one of these is going to be made in China. So Oakland A's, Detroit Tigers, your future 2025 World Series champion Detroit Tigers, Tef's Atlanta Braves, the A logo, and Arizona Diamondbacks, of course. And then Austin's favorite, shout out to Austin. Can't wait to have you back. New York Yankees. Then we got the San Francisco Giants. And last but not least, the Anaheim Angels, or Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, if you really want to be a jerk about it. So that's what we got there. But yeah, switch it back to Tef. There you go.
Yep. So for our A-frame aficionados, we have 8 currently on the website. And Ben, when are those remaining ones going to drop?
Those are going to be dropping Sunday morning, probably between 7 and 8 o'clock West Coast time, which would be 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock East Coast time.
Okay.
AM, baby.
AM, yes. So if you guys didn't have a team, if your team is not up here and the teams that Ben showed are available and what you want, definitely tap in on Sunday to grab those. Going through Side Sleeper, so we definitely talked about this hat, the history of it as far as the octopus for the Detroit Red Wings. You guys cleared it out. So this is all sold out. Shouts out to you guys. I was not lucky enough to grab one, but I think the logo is super duper cool. And even though it's sold out, I think that this is a really snazzy logo that is a great conversation starter wherever you go, should you choose to wear it. So shouts out to everybody that got one. And
I will say this, got some breaking news for you guys. If you missed out on this, there is another version that's going to be dropping in May.
Okay, so next month, if you didn't get a chance to grab the octopus hockey logo for the Detroit Red Wings, sounds like you got another chance in a week and some change.
Yeah, buddy.
So definitely wanted to highlight that one. Obviously, we also have the Los Angeles Kings. I forgot that this was actually a pinky, but very solid hat. But I know we released the NHL plain Janes a while back. So this one, metallic silver on the front, metallic silver for the crown on the side patch, Hat Club original pinky under visor here with the Hat Club badge and the sweatband. I believe this is made in China. And then you have the shield in metallic silver and black on the back. So I know a couple of you guys have been asking questions about Los Angeles Kings hats. And if you don't have a Los Angeles Kings hat that's a pinky, here you go. So if you're 7 7/8 and 8, unfortunately, weren't fast enough. But if you're 6 7/8 through 7 3/4, there's still a chance for you. And make sure you pick up an accessory if you need it. So hat stretcher or a Hat Club essential care kit. So we have that going on. Another hat that I thought was pretty cool that we talked about last week was essentially like almost like a Santa Clara-esque or Santa Cruz, excuse me, hat for the San Jose Sharks. We haven't really talked a lot about the Sharks lately, surprisingly, but for the most part, this is pretty cooked. I think 7 through 7 3/8 are the only sizes that are available. Everything else is sold out. Gray UV hat club badge on the inside. It has the fin logo for where the Batterman or the Shield logo would be for NHL hat. This is a closer up. I really like this hat. I think that it's definitely, again, like the octopus hat, another conversation starter, and especially if you have go back. Especially if you have a lot of Santa Cruz gear, whether it's decks or even just old tees or whatnot. I think this is a really cool complement to that if you have that in your closet already. Let's see what else we got. Let's see here. So this one I'm gonna pick again at the chagrin of the audience. I do really like this Dodgers hat. It's a all tonal black with the 50-50 club for Shohei Ohtani. Metallic blue script on the front, hat club badge on the inside, gray UV. Your traditional Batterman on the back, flat stitched. I just really like this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Black Ice Pack a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think the one thing that I like the most is that don't see this 50-50 club, side patch used very often. And I think here was the perfect combo to use with this spell out script here. So cooked in a 7 3/4 and an 8, but every other size is available. So if this one you're jonesing after and you're a 7 through 7 5/8, definitely go grab one.
First time in history, 50-50, man.
Yep. So a very historic hat, if you will. Another hat that we talked about that got the chat buzzing a little bit too was this neon Chicago Blackhawks hat.
Yeah.
And this is very much cooked as well. We got a 6 7/8 through 7 3/8 remaining. But very, very good hat. Very, very clean, very well put together. Gray UV. And essentially, I know we gave a challenge where we said if you could find somewhere that has that Chicago Blackhawks neon logo and put this next to the hat, we're giving you an invoice. I'm saying this again so it's on wax, so we can't back out of it.
Somebody did hit me up. I'm spacing on who it was. So if
really?
they're in the chat, please remind me. But obviously, at any point in time, you want to use that early access invoice. Shoot me a text or shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I got you.
For sure. And where the shield would be, we have the C with the 2 tomahawks going through it.
Oh, sorry, it's Rashad Kicks. My bad.
Rashad Kicks? Okay, cool. Shouts out to Rashad Kicks, man, for accepting the challenge. Tonal plaque, it's a plain Jane, and instead of where the shield is, you have the C for Chicago with the 2 tomahawks going through it. So if you are a 6 7/8 through 7 3/8, this hat is still available. Definitely go and grab it. And then I think one other hat that I wanted to show off, which I thought was interesting because I don't think I've ever really seen the City Connect San Francisco Giants logo.
Yeah.
And I really, really like this hat. I do. As far as the Connect, it's basically a baseball glove where you have San Francisco Giants, basically for the outer webbing, EST here for where the mesh and the glove actually splits. And then I believe the year is 1950. Is it 8?
58. Yeah, that was the first year in San Francisco.
Yep. So really, really interesting, logo and as well. And I like the fact that 1958 is almost like a baseball being caught by, San Francisco. I think it was a really, really interesting way to express this as a City Connect logo. It's actually, I think this is creeping its way into one of my favorites. It looks like all of this is metallic copper for the San Francisco going into the Giants on the outside. Really smooth hat. Again, you have, I think it's a black and orange Batterman, raised Batterman. You have an orange button for the top. So essentially team colors for the Giants. I think this is a solid, smooth, everyday wear. Chana, I'm pretty sure you have this already, but if you don't, definitely go scoop this one up. And anybody else, I'm sure Chief has this. And if he doesn't, I'm sure he's going to collect this pretty soon. So I saw that. And for those people saying, oh, boo, it's only a 59.50. Don't worry. We got you covered. There is also an A-frame version of it that is in orange. And I actually like this one too, because this is really giving me low-key like Coachella vibes.
Yeah.
This especially with the injection of the purple in here as well. Really, really tough. I really enjoyed this one too. So if you don't like 59.50s and you're more of an A-frame person, here you go. And it's orange with a gray UV. So really, really well done. And the adjustable feature is also orange. And it's $40, which is $12 less than a 59.50. So if you're trying to be budget conscious and trying to get into A-frames, got you covered. And I think, let's see here. There was this other one too. We're giving San Francisco a little bit more love tonight. There is the more traditional SF, but more in like the script that we saw for the City Connect logo, which again, very solid minimal hat. It's a plain Jane, very solid everyday wear. Same thing. You're having that black and orange two-tone for the Rays Batterman. And this is a closer up of the front logo.
I got to give a shout out to our design team on this one, and especially with the Houston Astros City Connect that we dropped a couple weeks ago, which flew. The fact that we were the first ones to actually do custom versions of any of the City Connect stuff for the season. But then more importantly, the one thing I will say that I think a lot of Giants fans have been kind of agreeing with in regard to this. Like, I don't hate the City Connect stuff. I think there's just certain creative choices that a lot of the teams did that were a little bit too out there. The Giants one specifically because they interjected so much purple onto their actual on-field one, and obviously the uniform, that I will actually say that our custom version kind of trumps that. Not to hate on them or anything like that, but I feel like just going basic team colorway just really made things stand out a little bit more. Obviously, this one's got the purple in it with the orange in the A-frame, but I think the 5950 versions that we did were just
spot on.
A little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. I'd agree with that. And then last but certainly not least, we are covering another San Jose Sharks hat because this is a different side patch than we've seen. A lot of you guys have seen the 5, I think we unveiled, or the 5th season anniversary that we unveiled a few weeks back. And then we have the 10, I think, that released with the initial NHL variety packs that we did earlier in the year. But this one with the fin going underneath the Bay Bridge, it looks like, or the San Jose, San Jose Bridge, really. Or it looks like, is that the Bay Bridge?
It's supposed to be the Golden Gate Bridge, which technically makes no sense.
Yeah, because that's why I was like, Bay Bridge to me would, I mean, I guess Oakland, because that's more, I guess Oakland is technically closer to San Jose, but I agree with you. I would think that would be more Bay Bridge than Golden Gate. But very solid side patch choice. This one is pretty much cooked. There's only a 7 and a 7/1/4 left. So again, team color two-tone. So you have teal for the top crown color, black for the top visor color, and black for the top button, gray UV, black guts, no hat club patch on this one, sweatband, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then you have the orange and black and white for the shield, as opposed to what we normally do, which is the
good-looking shield.
Yeah, very, very good-looking shield. So like the front logo, like the side patch choice here, these are closer up shots of it. So that's something that you're jonesing for, and you're a 7 or a 7 1/4, go ahead and grab you one. And I think that will do it, Ben, for Site Sleepers.
There were 2 questions I want to answer real quick before we move on to our very special guests. And yes, there are going to be 2 of them this week. The first one is, my name is Eric, asking, is the new Rocky City Connect coming soon? Yes, if I remember correctly, it's actually dropping on Friday. Hold on one sec. Let me go back. Sorry, I thought I had it written down. I got it right here. No, actually, there's not a date attached to it, but it is dropping this week. So, or before the month is over. So we're good there. And then I think it was CG691 had asked the question in regard to in-store exclusives. If they don't sell out, do we put them on the website? Yes, actually, over the last month, there's been several from New York and Los Angeles that we've been dropping on the website. We don't, I mean, during Site Sleepers, we'll mention it just based on which ones are left. Which is why in a lot of cases, when we added them to the website, there were sizes sold out. And a lot of people are questioning that. And it's just like, well, yeah, because it was just leftover stock from a previous in-store exclusive. So if you were a 7.5 and we were wiped out by the time we put them up, that was why, because they sold out in store. So that is something that we will kind of continue. There's usually like a large gap of time in between when they drop in store and when we put them on the website. I mean, we're talking like maybe 6 to 7 months by the time they hit the website, just to kind of give the store exclusive rights, because then otherwise it wouldn't be an in-store exclusive necessarily. So yeah, that's about it.
There you go.
All right. We are in Bakunawa season, and of course we have the lovely pleasure of Mr. AB joining us for this week's episode.
My
brothers, or in this case, my kuya.
Let's see what you
What's
did
up,
there.
guys?
Not
What
much,
to
man.
do?
How you
What to
been?
do? Hey, it's been a minute, but we're
Yeah.
here. I'm
I'm gonna put
excited.
I'm gonna put you in the top square because you're gonna go on big screen here in a minute once we
Oh,
start
uh,
rifling through. But what's been new with you?
Not much, just working, but at the same time now, it's the week really because April has been. I don't know. It's been quality, right? Because
Yeah.
mhm,
March was heavy, pats, hats, and
mhm,
usually it is, but I know we mentioned before with the Chinese New Year, with the time
mhm.
frame that we are here in April, it's still slow, but quality of the hats have been my Filipino hats couldn't miss this. Let's go, Rob. So yeah, I'm excited because every week has been really good hats. Cattle last week, main
Yeah.
event
Mhm,
before. So yeah, I'm
mhm.
excited for Bakunawa this week. So
Yeah.
he said, "Is this AB or Oscar?" It's a little bit of both, Chief. I'll be wilding out here in a second.
So AB obviously, I mean, had a lot of his success last year. Hattie Award winner in multiple categories.
Yeah.
Went to the Hat of the Year tournament. Obviously, Pandulce took home
Yeah,
honors for that as well. So a great year for you in 2024. So now we're coming into 2025. This is your first pack of this year. Setting a tone in a lot of different ways. I mean, just kind of talk us through it, like inspo and execution, team selection. Like, how did you really go through that?
yeah. I mean, last year was crazy.
Hmm.
15 packs. It was really, it was an honor and it was a good blessing. That the design team really had a confidence in me and everyone in the team and Hack Club. So last year was really really cool to see just the reception. So this year I kind of wanted to put the same foot, but be different, in ways that I could input myself because,
Yep.
you know, I don't think even myself can replicate pan dulce, because
That's
again,
true.
I've told this to plenty of people, and even when I placed it with John, I just gave him, the design, not
Yeah.
thinking of it, thinking of like, oh, it's a different patch, so it's
Yeah.
good to see now that people, other stores, including ourselves, can do it more with that patch, and it's a good way to keep creating. So this time I just wanted to create a different color palette,
Hmm.
so I definitely wanted to represent again a spring collection, just like last year. And started off last year. I started off with Para Mi Gente, but this year I kind of wanted to start with the second rendition of Mahal
Hmm.
Pack. So
Hmm.
Mahal Pack also went in April last year. So I was like, oh, how can I do a spring collection that speaks to people, but it's still different? So I did a lot of, I did a lot of searching and really tapping in with my wife's Lola, So
Hmm.
I was just like, what's something cool that speaks? But I feel like it's really, really underrated. And even shout out to Lewis and Mike, who you're now Iman. They gave a really detailed educational video yesterday.
Yeah.
They
So
did.
it was really cool to see because I feel like the Bakunawa is one of the dragons that in the Asian community, it's not talked a lot. It's really not. So um, I think we really placed a good promo to begin with the graphic. It was a really cool anime. You know,
Yeah.
it was a really really cool animation. So I think to really capture that vibe of the Bakunawa, I think it connected with the promo, but it also connected with the hats. So yeah, I just wanted to do something again for the Filipino community, and we did these 5 hats. So yeah, I'm excited.
Who is the artist again that was behind the our little promo video that we got
So
going on the website?
his name is Bryson, and he
Mhm.
goes by BCX Graphics. So if you guys want to follow him, he's tagged in our socials. But he's done a lot of good work individually, in the past 2 years, and
Mhm.
I believe he did either a promo box or a logo for Davey in the past. It might have been either one of the Sweethearts or uh, Heartbreakers, one of the two.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
yeah, he definitely wanted to go ahead, and Geza had already seen his work in the past, so we
Mhm.
tapped into him, put the challenge on him, and he killed it. He killed
Very
it.
impressive work by him. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad
literally.
we went that
We
route.
wanted to capture an anime intro, kind of like the Avatar stuff like that. But yeah, we were like, once we saw it, we were like, yo, dude, this is outstanding, because it captures like the dragon moving. If like Tef just opened up the website too, and he was able
Yeah.
to do like a video to place on the website, and it
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
it looks really nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
but
All
yeah,
right.
man.
AB, the floor is yours. What you got?
So
Actually, the
we got
first question I'm gonna fire at
yeah,
you before you go through any of these.
yeah.
What was the main focus as far as like your design for this time around?
Well,
Colors, or was colors primary, or was the team selections primary?
it was really about because I went about it to begin
Mhm.
with to represent the Bakunawa, right?
Okay.
So originally it was like, okay, how can I focus on the colors of the dragon? And then after that, I wanted to go ahead and start selecting the teams, right? So once I went ahead and basically once I knew, that I was gonna, go based off of the colors, I was like, all right, so how can I, you know, be good with the colors or with the team
Mhm.
selection, but still hit with the good color palette. So really, I originally went and spelled out dragon, kind of like
Mm.
Mahal. So I spelled out dragon, Drago. So the ON, there was two MILB teams, right?
Mhm.
So then, you know, thankfully, the experts were in the design teams like, like let's try to make it more of a variety. Because to me, I was just about to go crazy with this
Yeah.
colorway. I was about to go crazy with this colorway and flip it, right? But
Mhm.
then as soon as they told me, it's like, hey, make it more variety. So each and all of them, all five of the hats are different. And I'm like, you know what?
Right.
I want to do that. Let's do it. Let's roll with it. So
Mhm.
all five are still representing the color palette of the dragon. So this is the first one. This will be
Mhm.
the app exclusive B for Bakunawa. And this is the Brooklyn Dodgers. Again, I went stone and graphite, right? And
Mhm.
I wanted to go ahead and still get that color placement right here in the front logo and the squatchy and the patch, but still give it like there's many representations of the Wakanawa. So this one I kind of wanted to go a little bit, dark
Mhm.
into it. So here's a stone crown, graphite visor. All four of the first four are pinkies, and then the last one will be that teal UV that you guys will see. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
I went ahead and just put teal in the front logo, copper threading right here, and
Yep.
then in the 1942 patch for the All Star game, I went ahead and put just teal, pink,
Mhm.
and then copper. And then this time around, I really wanted to go ahead and use a new color. So I used plum, right? So I was
Mhm.
like, this is a perfect implementation of the scales of the dragon, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
So yeah, CG691, they're
No.
pretty true size. They're pretty
Yep.
true
Pretty
size.
good.
So they are made in China. All of them will be black guts. But yeah, this is the betterment to this one, copper, pink, and teal.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and use that plum in different ways to rep
Mhm.
the scales. So this is the first one. This will be only on the app at 11 in the morning Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So
Yes.
Yeah. That was definitely I was torn between that one and the one that I end up getting for promo, but that one, like the Brooklyn, is definitely in my like second place like slot as far as I really really like the really 1A 1B if we're being honest.
yeah, this to me, off the bat, I was like, oh man, this turned out great.
Mhm.
The teal
Yeah.
squatchy, it looks really, really cool in this palette. But then
Mhm.
I saw this one too, and I'm like, man, that also looks really nice. And then this one stayed in the pack because I just felt that it was so strong. But this was
Mhm.
the A in Dragon, you know?
Mhm.
So I went ahead and used for the Braves, I used graphite at the top, and
Mhm.
then I used aqua as the visor, and then copper and plum as the front logo. So that's where you see it
Mhm.
there. And shout out to
Mhm.
Tef because those pictures, I was like, man, Tef,
Mhm.
Tef was going crazy in that promo.
Can I tell them now,
Yeah,
AB? Can I?
yeah, yeah,
So the funny thing is, as ambassadors, we obviously we get a chance to see the packs early. So when we asked, we talk about what we want to get. I got looking eyes from AB. He said, "Which ones did you pick?" And I told him the two that I chose, and he was just like, he said, "Why'd you pick that second one?" I said, "I figured that you had something to do with it." And he was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm Mahal last year. It makes sense. Like, I should have known that you would have paid attention."
Well, he did because he picked his first one was the Cattle Yankees, and then the second one I was like, oh, he picked the Braves. Okay,
Yeah, listen.
so yeah, I mean the way you find your locations, Steph. Shout out to you because it really complimented the hat. So
Listen,
thank you.
I knew what I was going against with. I knew I couldn't top the educational angle that Lewis and them were, and Q were doing, which was extremely dope. I was like, so I just was like, let me just be support. Let me handle let me support in the role.
Yeah. So then this on the patch, same color placement or same color focus, but I just brought ivory in this. So it's ivory, teal, copper, and plum on the 1999 World Series
I feel
set.
like Ivory is really making a pronouncement over the last
Yes,
couple weeks. So
Yeah, yeah, and it is. And then right here, same colors, copper, and then teal and pink. So that's the second one, the Braves black gutter made in China.
oh,
very
And
solid.
this
Very
one got a haircut, so you guys really can't really
solid.
me on my hair. So then this one is the third and last MLB one, So this one is D for Dragon, the Bakunawa Dragon. And in this one, I focused myself on just kind of making a sneaky two-tone and how I could figure this out. So I made it at the top aqua, kind of like that top 30 color. And then over here is that Everest screen that you see in Austin's Venusaur. So
Yeah.
shout out to him because I was like, man, this color really doesn't, get placed for, in enough hats. So same squatchy, that ever screen, that copper and plum in the front logo. And then here, I went ahead and used plum, teal for that Tiger Stadium. I kept it copper and then pink inside the actual stadium. So
that looks good.
yeah,
Yeah.
turned out nice. Yeah,
Yeah. That was
that is crazy, bro. Chat is so funny.
crazy. But I definitely will say, like, of the three, I didn't really make the connection like you were saying that you were going for like to spell out dragon. But
Mhm.
I definitely felt like the Detroit, the Brooklyn, and the Atlanta just I like how you flipped each of them to where like each of them has probably a color or two that's shared between each, but they're all implemented differently. So I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
was really, really well done and pulled off.
yeah. Thank you, man. So right here, it was same placement just to finish this one off. Copper,
Mhm.
teal, and pink. But yeah,
Mhm.
it was tough because like originally I was like, okay, spell dragon, and then the extra one was gonna be B for Bakunawa. But luckily, the mastermind, for the Terminator John that he is, he was like, hey, we also have these logos if you want to use
Yes.
it.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, because me remembering, sometimes the WEC closes, their time frame on as far as logos.
Yep.
I didn't think of this one, but Hack Club has used it a lot of times. So this, is the Filipino based off, the flag. So it's the golden sun and the three stars, right?
Mhm.
So I kind of wanted to go ahead and really replicate it where it still gave that same color palette, but more homage to the Philippines. So I put the copper and ivory in the front, and then the Filipino flag right here. And the reason, people were like, "Oh, why didn't you use the bigger flag?" Is again WBC just didn't have
Yep.
the time frame, so still put it in there. And this one has no baddie, but again, still wanted to go ahead and put teal. I mean teal and navy on the crown, and get a
Mhm.
different form of more variety into the pack. But shout out, to John for really making me remember because again, we've used this logo. I want to say at least 8 times. There was even a variety pack of just these logos.
Yes, and it's been a few years since the last time we used this, and
Mhm.
especially raw fitteds. You can agree with me on this. There is a high concentration of Filipinos between Daly City all the way down to San Jose,
Mhm.
and we've had those hats, not necessarily the Bakunawa colors, but I mean that logo, anything Filipino in the stores there, and they go. Like if there was
Mhm.
one hat from this collection that I wish to God that we could have gotten at Great Mall, 100% it was this one. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was, and it was funny because I saw today's post in the comments. They were like, "Hey, shout out to the Saramonte. This is
yep.
you know." I was like, "Hey, let's go." So they were even bringing it. It's like I bought that Filipino golden, like the sun and the golden stars based off just being in that location. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's really,
Hmm.
really cool. So yeah, but the question I think again CG691 asked, it was the N was gonna be representative of the northwestern. Let me try to find it again. I think it's Arkansas
Yeah,
natural.
Oh, the
Arkansas.
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
which would have been
Arkansas natural.
crazy. Which would have been crazy tying into the the whole theme of essentially what the Bakunawa myth
Yeah,
represents. Yeah,
yeah.
that would.
But this one I really really like because like someone said, it kind of like gives that vibe. Gramble. It gives that vibe of even the 3 stars
I had
of
to highlight
even
that
like
one.
the Mariners colorway kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our good warehouse manager too, one of the warehouse managers, DK, he loves the Mariners, so he was like, "Oh, bro, that reminds me a lot of the Mariners color." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
definitely see it." But this one has pink UV again, no Batterman and black guts, but that's the fourth one. And then
Hmm.
we got the Sherport Swamp Dragons to represent the
Yeah.
actual Bakunawa dragon. And I kind of really just had the when I finished this pack up, it was the time frame that we had just dropped the 12 days of Hatmas,
Yep.
Hmm.
So I was just like, oh man, this is an underrated logo that Davey just tapped in, you know. So how can I go ahead and do this where it looks exactly like the reference picture that I used? So I put teal, I put plum, and then the
Hmm.
only one I added here was metallic blue gray in the Swamp Dragons, and then
Hmm.
copper outline, and then plum as the tongue as well. So this
Hmm.
one definitely, just hit as far as the colors to go ahead and
Yep.
represent. And then I put green squatchy, teal UV on this one, just because I didn't want to make all of them pink UVs.
Oh, that's a good
Hmm.
look.
Yeah.
And then this is what the Batterman looks like.
That's
Yeah.
hot.
That green, pink, and copper. So that's
Yeah.
that's the last one, the Bakunawa himself.
Dude,
So
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that they came together really, really well.
five.
And it's you did such a good job, AB, that you're getting allegations now in IG chat. They're asking, wait, AB is Mexican, right? I didn't know he was is he Filipino? Like what 'cause- so at this point now you're
Yeah.
not beating the allegations now, brother.
Yeah. No, what is the thing? The first year when I did Mahal, I was like, "You're Filipino?" I was like, "No, no, no. My wife's Filipino." Now I have two Filipino sons, so it's just a way now where I just want to say where in the future I can be like, you know what? This is your culture. This is what it represents, so definitely want to pass that on to them. Hopefully one of
Mhm.
them is a quarter, so they'll have to fight. If they're both a quarter, they'll have to fight for these hats. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
No.
wanted to do that for, like Austin said, my better half. But now too, I got two squinkles, two crazy little guys that are Filipino.
Yeah, man.
I
You
gotta
gotta
I gotta bring up because Alab is in the chat. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
I vividly remember a conversation from Supermart that I
Yeah,
have to bring up, and I'm not doing this to throw Austin under the bus. It's just it's still just it's vivid in my head. You were going through. You obviously had the collection that dropped at Supermart, and I remember Austin saying like something to the degree of like, "Hey, I don't think you're gonna be doing as that many collections. It's cool that you're doing them, but it was something on the lines of that."
yeah,
And
yeah,
then here we are, like a year and a half later, from everything you dropped last year into
Mhm.
this, and then other things that are coming. And the
Mhm.
reality is everybody loves your stuff. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I know this is just kind of like a side portion of your job, but you fucking crush it. So
Thanks,
congrats
man.
to you, brother.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like yeah, that was 2023. It feels like we were just there a couple months ago, but time flies, and I'm just really honored whenever I have the chance to really just input myself and my ideas in there.
Hmm.
Definitely, definitely want to do that. But yeah, sending our love, Austin. Definitely praying for you, brother, and Max. Hopefully you guys are well. And yeah, man. I'm stoked. I'm stoked because definitely this is a a good connection. What do you say? I'm pretty sure I said let that man cook.
That was not what I heard, Austin.
No, listen. When I met with Austin, and I was even just like, hey, if you guys ever need help,
Yeah.
because I was basically kind of doing the same thing for GCU, but more educational wise with marketing. But man, he was like, oh, he goes. I remember his face. Oh, really? I was like, hey, I'm in Arizona. So hey, 2 years. That was a year and a half, right? And a year and a half later, I was like, man, so honored to work with Austin, Ben, Davey, now Tef on a monthly basis with Tef Show. You guys will see soon. So hey, stay tuned.
Listen, I've always said, Abu, your eye for detail and just how you put storytelling together. I've always just appreciated, and I'm gonna ask you the hard question that probably most will not ask you, because I feel like with hats, with packs, with collections that we do, obviously we operate in a really quick space, right? So it's always the next thing after the new thing comes.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to answer me now. Well, we could circle back on this after tomorrow and the drop. But which would you say is your favorite pack that you've done that's Filipino inspired? Would you say the Mahal is your favorite, or would you say Bakunawa is your favorite? Because I know that there's certain aspects of the culture you're pulling on in each of those packs, but do you have a feeling like right now, like which one is your favorite of the two?
Damn, I'd be dumb, bro, not to say Mahal, or I'm not gonna sleep in this bed. But no, honestly, that's hard, So, man, I think even though it's fresh and we're new, I still say I would say Bakunawa over Mahal, just because it's like something new as far as like just like with the plum and the teal, So Mahal definitely still has a place in my heart. But yeah, we were peeking. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Austin with the correction on my comment from earlier, which actually makes better sense.
My favorite part of Austin's comment is the ipso facto.
But yeah, I would say Bakunawa, just because like it's again a underrated dragon, and Mahal, just it was very very special. But I think the details that went over this and talking to Meg's Lola, it was definitely more input and cool to see the process and how to turn out. If he's sleeping on the couch tonight, he said, "Hey, if you guys spare me some change, I'm gonna go get a mattress." I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, we talked about this last year, and I mean, just of all the hats that you did, I think it was good to see you do something. I think last year you had that chance to lean into both Para Mi Gente for yourself, and then obviously Mahal for Megs and Filipino Pinoy culture as well. It's funny, like every time I've ever picked a hat that's from either of those packs, people immediately ask, "Are you Pinoy? Are you Filipino?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "No, I'm not." But I think it's just one of those things where I talk about, I think what separates Hat Club as a great company, I think both of you guys would agree, is that I think that cultural sensitivity and our ability to, not make it look gimmicky, but also like educate our, our buyers on that. And then representation. I feel like that's a big part of it. That's why I like the hat, this pack the most. I think, and I can see what you're saying, where it's educating, it's teaching beyond just entertainment. Hey, those colors look good on that hat.
Yeah, and I think overall, like it's it speaks to people, it connects with people. So I think if we continue to do that, which I think it's gonna happen, later in the future, throughout the whole year, I think we're definitely a good space to share those stories. So I'm excited.
Yeah, 1000%, brother.
I saw somebody ask the question if we're gonna have the captcha back up for Bakunawa tomorrow. I think we are.
Oh wow!
Just be prepared for it to be on. Just because, let's be real, these are all gonna sell out, and so just as a precautionary tale, only have one tab open. And as a reminder, the hats drop tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Hackclub.com, Hackclub app only. And of course, the first one that you showed off is going to be the app exclusive, which is the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Yeah. Ben, stock looking pretty healthy on these, or is this going to be one of
Yeah.
those? Okay.
Stock is pretty solid.
Yeah, I saw that question earlier on, but I wanted AB to get through the descriptions and showing the hats
Yeah.
off before we ask that question.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like Ben said, it's just the past 2 packs, main event, and cattle have gone crazy. So Cap should definitely, I feel like it's probably gonna be needed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rearing its head more frequently these days.
Yeah, I think April by far. I mean, I've loved all the months that we've had, but April I think has just been the most dense when you talk about just. I think this month has just had really distinct packs. Well, with the exception of cattle, because we did release that last year, and we just expanded it, with the 940s and everything. But yeah, I really like this month. Just we have Bakunawa kind of closing out, then we have main event in the middle, and then we had main event and cattle pack basically being right next to each other. So.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I know all the people that had a hand in designing it, so it's really cool seeing my friends do cool things. So shouts out to y'all, man. Y'all empty my bank account, but shouts out to y'all.
Oh God!
Hey, we even got me and Ben got a stray on I think the first Bakunawa. They were like, I blame Wilder and Ben. I'm like,
Yeah, I think I didn't do anything.
I know.
Ben just got a random stray.
But yeah, hey, Austin definitely teasing some things for sure.
And
I'll actually read it for the for all the Instagram people. So Alab just commented in, if you miss out, don't worry too much. AB's posting fingers are going to be busy the next couple of months for personal collection.
Yeah,
things ahead.
I see something in the future for May.
Hey, it's definitely a good segue.
Only because it came up like 3 times all day today. I had to go, like AB and I had to go back and forth on multiple phone calls trying to figure out a specific date. So we got it figured out. So don't worry. We will show it off on recap before an actual drop.
For sure.
Yeah. That's not the only thing that's dropping tomorrow. I'm going to take the big screen real quick, and then we're going to bring our other guest in. I feel bad because he's been waiting in the green room for like the last hour. So obviously Bakunawa is dropping tomorrow, and then we also posted we got Hat Club shirts coming, baby.
Dude, these are nice, man.
Oh, is that reflective on the front? Ooh.
Yes. I don't feel like my light is necessarily doing it justice right now. So, but this is the white. There is an HC logo, the Hat Club logo on the back of the neck. All these are going to be 100% cotton. Obviously the front logo, it's going to be kind of more metallic style painting on this one. So these are also extra larges in my hand if they seem like extremely big.
Yeah. No, that's solid. And you said it's coming in white, and also is it the washed black too?
No, it's navy blue, which I got. I don't know if I may just have to hang on to this one. So sorry, Richard. Just send me an invoice. I might just have to keep it up. But it is an XL, and I probably should get a large. So
that navy is that's the one I need right there.
It pops, baby.
Yeah. I would say just because we just showed out Bakunawa, I think definitely the white would go perfect with any of them.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, that navy is nasty. That's really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it has like that silver, like a little metallic hint in
little
it.
sheen in there. Yeah.
So these will be dropping tomorrow as well, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hatclub.com, Hat Club app. But yeah, without further ado, let's bring our other gentle fellow in because he has a hat that's dropping this week in a little bit of an early access, but app exclusive. It's our boy Richard. What's going on, dude?
What?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Rich?
Sorry to keep you waiting, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
Listen, Richard wearing a great hat. It's an amazing hat.
Very amazing
hat. Atlanta Braves.
Hey, he's Devin Booker's new plug. Hey, shout out to Rich. That was a cool video. I have to say that was
that was crazy. I love that.
I gotta put you on the big screen here to show off the goods. But first question is, when is it dropping?
So this hat is dropping this coming Friday the 25th.
Friday 25th. Yep.
App exclusive. So it's going to take 11 our time to Eastern. So make sure you get the app. But it's the Anakin Braves. It's pretty sick. Yes, a great color scheme. I think a lot of people will like this one. We did the graphite top, that burnt wood brown. We did a gray UV,
Ooh.
This one is still the black guts with Poly and China. So this is a good one. But I chose the side patch is a little different. I did the lightsaber, but the two colors here is the lava red and the blue for the light and the dark side. So this one's pretty sick.
Got people panicking.
So it's
Now-
Anakin for the Anakin.
I will say this is definitely this is leading into something a little bit bigger if I can share that for next month. But there is a very specific reason why we're dropping this one so much further in advance. Perhaps you can give the backstory as far as why we're doing it on Friday.
Yeah, so the backstory of dropping this one early is because it is the 20th anniversary of the movie.
Yeah.
So I already got my tickets for Friday. So
yeah, I had to get my tickets too. Rich told me, I was like, need to wear it now.
Listen, I need to. So obviously, I'm gonna have to make a flight to the West Coast so I can pick up my hat now, since I know it's not.
I mean, I wish you could have been there last week when we were all there together.
Oh, man.
Austin, Revenge of the Rich.
Revenge of the
yeah, but I hope a lot of people like the concept, and
Mhm.
again, it's easy color to wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did the glow white and the blue accent of the metallic blue.
Yeah.
Just to represent, obviously, the lightsaber. The back batterman has glow white, the metallic pewter, and metallic blue. So again, the white and the white on the side patch all have that glow accent. So it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, because of May the 4th last year, you had a very, very big hand in the success of that one. It sold out almost instantly, which I don't think we're going to have an issue with the second time around. So
yeah,
I'm already going to give you the congratulatory pat on the back for a job well done, as I always tend to do when you guys really kick ass in making hats, because, we are Hat Club. And at the end of the day, it's like, we love hats as much as you guys. And this is a passion project for a lot of us. And so,
dude, absolutely.
Rich and AB, you guys fucking crushed it, man.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to John. Shout out to Freddie this year too, believe it or not. So a little bit of a sneak peek, but yeah, you guys will see more to come, and hopefully the photos come.
Davey, you're going to be getting an email from me after this show.
Oh, God. Actually, Rich, you're going to be getting an email from me, but for a completely different reason.
And what's it called? I just checked just to verify. It is going to drop early access app at 10 a.m.
Ooh, 10 a.m. Nice.
Yeah, 10 a.m. PST, so 1 p.m. EST. So early access on the app, whatever, I don't think it's making it to 11 in a.m.
No, it's not. There's no way in hell it
is. So, yeah, man. Shout out to Rich. This is probably, I'm calling it right now, it's probably going to be my favorite Braves as I made one right now too, but I'm like, hey,
1 and 2 right there, baby.
1 and 2 right there, man. But yeah,
and then,
man.
Rich, we're gonna have you back on the show next week to really highlight the rest of the collection there.
Absolutely, man. Yeah,
for sure.
Cannot wait.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, guys. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all, man.
See you soon.
Y'all boys.
See you guys.
All right. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yes, Davey. There will be an email coming very soon. I need that.
Oh, yeah. So Friday is the Atlanta Braves. So as they said, early access on the app, 10 a.m. West Coast time, 11 or 1 p.m. East Coast time. And then Bakunawa is tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hatclub.com, Hat Club app. Wow.
Yes, sir.
And then the shirts are tomorrow as well. So
lots of things dropping. So, can't say that we're not, ending the month of April strong,
Oh, but little bird told me we got some more hats, so we got to have a drop over the next couple days. So we got one full collection right here, and we got 2 more variety packs to talk about, and that will actually take us all the way through April 30th. So,
all right,
you ready to go on this journey for me?
Let's do it, Ben.
Or with me? Sorry, not for me, with me. God.
For you, with you, all good.
I tripped on that one, so my bad. All right, so the Anakin Braves is not the only thing that's dropping on Friday. Friday is also going to be the New Era 5950 version of the NHL White Domes. Obviously, the A-frames we dropped, what was it, like 2 months ago? And I
Mhm.
double checked the website again recently, and there's only like 4 teams left in those. So for all you A-frame fans out there, and especially hockey fans, hell, you guys fucking did your thing. So 5950 aficionados, this is your time. So chrome white crown, red button, black upper visor, total new era flag on the other side. All these are going to be plain Janes. And of course, because it's the Chicago Blackhawks, you're going to have the primary logo on the front, the alternate C with the double tomahawks on the back. All these are going to be good grays with black sweatband, Hack Club tag on the inside, and all these bad boys are going to be made in China. So this is number 1 of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 different styles, my friends.
Sheesh.
Had to catch my breath there for a second. So up next, this one's going to sell out immediately. So Tampa Bay Lightning, once again, with their alternate logo. The name is escaping me right now. But that is a metallic gold button up top, black upper visor. This will have the black metallic gold NHL shield on the back. Same interior details, gray under visor, black sweatband, Hack Club tag on the inside. Bada boom.
Yeah, that's definitely a favorite. That's definitely a favorite.
Yes. I'm going to put this one aside because this is definitely a top 3. New Jersey Devils have been getting a lot of love lately, and especially on the East Coast when Ranger fans have no presence in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but they always turn to the dark side, and then of course is the New Jersey Devils. So primary logo on the front, red button, black upper visor, and of course the red and black NHL shield on the back.
Very solid.
So, Quando Bando, it's not necessarily that we're not doing invoices anymore. There just needs to be a time frame in advance for a drop that we do invoices. So, don't worry, we're still going to do some in the future. St. Louis Blues up next. So, red button, royal blue upper visor, primary St. Louis Blues logo on the front. In this case, it's going to have the 5 stars on the back, and of course, red and yellow in regard to the flat stitch NHL shield on the back. David Kearns is a diehard Ranger fan. He did not like my comment.
He did not.
All right, I'm saving this one for last. Up next, of course, another one that I already know is going to sell out or at least be a fan favorite. Old school Anaheim Mighty Ducks, chrome white crown, teal button, maroon upper visor, the classic hockey mask and double stick logo on the front, teal and maroon NHL shield on the back, and yep, good gray, black sweatband, Hack Club tag, made in China.
I like that. I haven't seen one I wouldn't like. Oh, Cap Crusader.
Oh, Cap Crusader. New York Islanders up next. So Fisherman primary logo on the front, teal button, light navy upper visor, and of course light navy and teal for the NHL shield on the back. All the other details are going to be the same.
Very solid. So all these white domes essentially are going to be team colors.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, and I'll be honest, that's kind of why I'm going through these a little bit quicker. Just one to save time because we started a little bit later due to my tomfoolery. But yeah, I mean, they're all basically the same, just different color scheme for the button, upper visor, and front logo. So, New York Rangers up next. So there you go, David Kearns, red button, dark royal upper visor, and of course that New York Rangers primary logo on the front. NHL shield on the back is going to be a much darker, almost borderline navy blue with a little bit of red. So flat stitch NHL shield on the back. Same interior details here.
Very solid. Another good.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was my bad. I didn't mean to say anything there. Just I was about to cough and then it just came out. Sorry. Where is Big Show? Because it is about goddamn time. We got a Philadelphia fucking Flyers hat for you.
Yeah, and Big Show. I also want to say that there was a NoHo. Shouts out to Willow and Hat Club NoHo. They actually there was a 2-tone Flyers that I saw there as well. So Big Show, Christmas for you came early. 2 different ones. One with team colors and another one with I think it was a brown top visor and off-white crown as well. So
I
There you
I
go.
know Big Show doesn't live close to NoHo, so that's why he's been kind of missing out on those. But
Yeah.
due to the fact that we're gonna cut a highlight package out of this, I got to do the Flyers again because I can't, I use the F word in there. Sorry, but anyway, Philadelphia Flyers up next. Orange button, black upper visor, and of course the iconic Philadelphia Flyer logo on the front, with of course orange and black flat stitch shield on the back. There he is. Oh no, that was Ola Bidet. I thought that was Big Show chiming in there. My bad.
He's in there somewhere. He'll come back. He'll be like, "Oh, I was summoned."
Wait, what happened? I took a leak and I missed out. Oh my god. That's exactly what happened. But not to be outdone. That is the 2-0 in the series. Toronto Maple Leafs right there, baby. Dramatic Max Domi finish in overtime last night. Love to see it. But royal blue button and upper visor, the iconic Toronto Maple Leaf logo on the front. Interstate 19, my buddy John Beer is a diehard Ottawa Senators fan. I'm not going to get too cocky about this, but I'm really happy right now. Really happy how the way the series is going right now. So
feel the feelings. Go Leafs.
Go Leafs, go. Next, I was just here. Vegas Golden Knights, baby. So not quite metallic gold, but it is kind of a like a dark Dijon mustard style for the button up top, which is one of their colors. Graphite for the upper visor, and then of course black and metallic gold for the flat stitch NHL shield on the back. I double checked to make sure it was flat stitch.
Now, remind me if I'm wrong, Ben. Was it an A-frame where there was a metallic gold button, like what was on the Tampa Bay Lightning? Okay,
100%. Yeah, I was gonna say because I'll show you the difference between the two. So, the Tampa Bay one is the here in the back, so it does have the metallic button. Obviously, the Vegas one I just showed you is, like I said, that dark Dijon mustard style.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Put that one aside. Everybody's favorite these days because of Alexander Ovechkin. What are we calling this bird?
The Screaming Eagle.
Screaming Eagle for the Washington Capitals. That is correct. Indigo button, black upper visor, Screaming Eagle on the front. Another one with the 5 stars on the back, so black and indigo in regard to the flat stitch NHL shield on the back. And then, of course, same interior details made in China. All right, throw another log on the Flyer because, of course, we can't have a collection of NHL hats without a San Jose Sharks. Due to the fact that the regular season is obviously over, their point total got put on pause, but it doesn't mean we're going to stop bringing out Sharks hats. So we're going to get closer to that number here in the not too distant future.
Yeah.
Teal button, black upper visor. This one, the alternate fin logo on the back. So excellent touch there.
Yeah, I feel like now what we have to do is we have to do like a shark counter. So like one, how many shark hats do we show and how many different styles? Because we've shown Santa Clara, I think Tablones was on the website, and then now we have this one. Yeah. 4. We've actually done 4 tonight.
Anybody a graphic designer that can put that together for us? I'll give you the exact numbers of Sharks hats because I think I forgot. I want to say we're probably like at 32 or 33 right now.
I think we're around there.
We're close. And I think the Sharks finished with what, 50 points on the season or something like that.
We're definitely eclipsing that before the end of the year. Definitely happened.
Red Wings, baby, for all you Tupac fans out there. So red button, red upper visor, and of course, because it is the Red Wings, it will have the Red Wings script on the back.
Okay, I like this. Very solid.
Puck guy 14, love it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Didn't we have a? I feel like there was a variety pack that we had that was an icy, and it was the red and silver NHL shield on the back. I'm just trying to remember. It was a Winter Classic. That's what it was.
Yes, Winter Classic.
I believe it was. Yeah.
Up next, LA Kings. So this is the not necessarily. It's like the more modern day, the early 2000s primary logo when they, moved away from like the Wayne Gretzky era primary logo. So more current stuff going on right here. But this one is going to have a black and purple flat stitch NHL shield on the back. Tonal New Era flag on the opposite side, like all of them do. Gray under visor, black sweatband, the Hat Club tag, made in China.
Yep, definitely giving me Sacramento Kings vibes.
It's always
Definitely.
funny how two teams always end up like with the same color scheme and stuff like that. So next we got 3 to go. And of course, like I said, I'm saving the best for last. Did I say Sacramento?
No, you didn't. I did.
Oh, okay. No
Yeah.
worries. Colorado Avalanche, so alternate Bigfoot logo for the front, maroon button up top, or actually Cardinal button up top. Sorry, there was a vast difference between Cardinal and maroon.
Mhm.
Icy blue upper visor, and of course the Cardinal and the icy blue for the NHL shield on the back.
Yep.
All the other interior details: gray under visor, black sweatband, heckle tag on the inside, made in China.
Yep. And is that a metallic foot? Silver metallic
It
foot?
is. Good call.
Mm-hmm. And these are all chrome, right, Ben?
Yes, chrome white for every single one of these crowns.
Mm-hmm. Avalanche.
Avalanche. Minnesota North Stars coming up next. Personally, I feel like we should have thrown a Wild in here as well, just because all the other Wild hats we've dropped have done really well. But that's not hating on the old school Minnesota North Stars, unless, of course, you are a Dallas Stars fan, then you might have a different opinion about it. But either way, yellow button up top, Kelly green for the upper visor, and flat stitch NHL shield on the back, Kelly green and yellow, of course, with the 5 stars on the back. Good gray under visor, black sweatband, heckler tag on the inside, made in China. And last but not least, I still need to. I don't know why I didn't pick up this one and the Leafs one when I was down in Arizona last week. Like I saw it like after I made a purchase, and I didn't go back and buy more. That of course is going to be the Hartford Whalers.
Shouts out to Pucky, and that's a metallic green whale too.
Yes,
Oh my God.
yes. Kelly green buttoned up top, royal blue for the upper visor, and of course, metallic Kelly green and royal blue for the 5-star NHL flat stitch shield on the back. Good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside. And these, my friend, are all made in China. And once again, they are all dropping this Friday. Hackclub.com, Hackclub app, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. As well as every Hack Club location is getting like a bunch of these. So,
Eric, my name is Eric. I'm gonna need you to log out, brother. Oh my God. Oh man, chat's funny tonight. Oh my gosh.
it took me a second because I was obviously in the zone on going through the hats, and then finally I went back and looked at what you were talking about, and it's just like, wow.
Oh my God.
That is extreme, my friend.
Oh my God. I don't, you know what? Just
You know what? I'm gonna put it up on the screen just because it's funny. For everybody on Instagram who doesn't know why we're laughing right now. There you go.
Oh man. I needed that laugh. Shouts out to you, Eric.
Good job, Eric.
Oh, man. No,
All
you
right.
know. No.
We got 2 variety packs left. I'm gonna hammer through these really quick, and then yeah, then we got a little time to chat with you guys. A little fireside chat. So starting with Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, hackclub.com, Hackclub app. Got a couple hockey and a couple baseball for both these variety packs. So first one.
Wow.
Very interesting color scheme, but I don't hate it for the Detroit Red Wings.
Is that lavender?
Yeah, lavender crown, dark navy blue button for the button in the upper visor, navy blue button. And then a combination of white and metallic copper for the tire with the Wings logo for the front. This one is going to be the 2008 Stanley Cup champions. A lot of good metallic silver in there.
Yeah, and that's like almost like 2 types, like green and blue in that side patch.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. This is
I agree.
Very interesting.
And then combination of black, white, metallic copper for the flat stitch NHL shield on the back. Tonal New Era flag on the opposite side, but good gray under visor, black sweatband, Hack Club tag on the inside. And this one is made in China.
Yeah, visor is navy, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the crown color, guys, looks to be lavender. and then the top visor and top button are going to be is navy. Yeah, Gil, the color scheme works. I mean, we've definitely I've seen it used before. It kind of brings me back to it's actually a Rushmore drop, Quiet Storm 2, which was the St. Louis Cardinals that Tab did. The
Oh
Camille
yeah, you're
Cardinals.
right.
Mm-hmm. From a color scheme perspective, I like those two colors together. But yeah, really well executed. I like the color play in the side patch. This isn't a hat that everything matches, and I think that's what I found the most interesting about. Very nice color combo.
Nice. All right. So now we're on to a hat that I did buy when I was in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's going to be another Hartford Whalers. This
Goodness.
time,
that a
stone
met-
gray crown, navy blue button and upper visor, pucky on the front, and Hartford Whalers inaugural season for the side patch for 1979.
Ben, is that a silver whale?
Yes.
It's a
Well,
metallic.
no, it's not silver. It's just like the way the light is reflecting on it kind of has that
Oh.
vibe to it. It's actually just optic white threading.
That looks like a metallic silver whale
It
based off of what
does,
the light's doing,
which is kind of wild.
which is insane. That's shit, man. Hats off to whoever did the design choices on these threadings and these colors for these hats. That's A1. I like that.
I don't know who did this one, but even with the NHL shield on the back, so a combination of
Mhm.
navy blue, metallic Kelly green, and white. I saw this, and yeah, good retro green under visor, black sweatband, heckle tag on the inside, made in China. I saw this, I fell in love, and I bought it immediately.
Yeah, I think stone and navy are obviously two great colors together. But I mean, yeah, I really like that. I really like that. Because we've seen it before, like people have used off white and then optic white. So it's interesting they're using the optic white with the stone color. I like that.
Yeah, was not expecting that. I probably would just gravitated toward the white domes, to be honest, and just gotten my fair share of those. But no, that one definitely caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers, everybody's favorite team this year. Black crown and upper visor, Dodger blue button, white LA logo. Showtime for the side patch and the Japanese flag instead of the Batterman logo on the back. So nice touch there. A lot of boos coming out all of a sudden. But the sales don't lie, my friends. Good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside. This one is made in China as well.
I do like this. I do like the fact that because we've had the Japanese flag as a side patch before.
Yep.
And I think this is, or no, for the Tokyo series, right? The Tokyo series was something different. It was all, I think, kanji on the back. Never mind.
Good call. And then somebody recently was asking me when we're gonna start like really dropping Padres hats again. I thought it was gonna be May 1st, but apparently it's gonna be this Monday is gonna be the first of like a series of a bunch of Padres hats that are gonna be dropping over the next month. So none of you guys have seen the swinging fryer, but we got the catching fryer right here in the mid 90s colorway. So light navy crown and upper visor, orange button. That is the happy little fryer there. It is a plain Jane, so tonal new air flag on the opposite side, flat stitch baddie on the back, good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, and made in China. This 4-pack is going to be dropping once again Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, hatclub.com, Hat Club app.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then, yeah, we got 4 left to show you. These are going to be dropping Wednesday, April 30th. So this is going to be the last drop of April. These are going to be dropping 7 a.m. West Coast time, 10 a.m. East Coast time, hatclub.com, Hat Club app. And going to start with the hockey again. And I know Justin or John just posted this one recently, but yeah, Buffalo Sabres, baby.
That's nasty.
Very nasty. Two-tone, red crown, black button, black upper visor, a lot of optic white metallic silver, and a little bit of actually, sorry, that's not silver, that's metallic graphite for the buffalo head in the front.
Good God.
20th anniversary of the Sabres organization on the side, so 1970, 1999. The alternate B with the sword logo instead of the shield on the back. Good gray undervisor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside. And this one is going to be made in China.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I like that a lot.
I don't know why. I just instinctively keep thinking that Austin is a Sabres fan because he's from Buffalo, but then I reel myself back in when he makes comments like "Go Rangers" in the chat.
It's one that's confusing. It is definitely confusing.
Jeez, Austin.
Gosh.
It's been a while since we dropped one of these, and I dig it. It's a plain Jane. Seattle Steelheads. So going back to the 1913 Negro League season, in this case, it's going to be navy blue crown, button, and upper visor, ivory for the S logo in the front. Oddly enough, so not oddly enough because it has a tonal newer flag on the side. The thing I find odd is that it actually has the flat stitch Batterman logo in the back. I wasn't sure if we'd actually be able to do that, but I think because the Mariners, God, it's been 12 years since they brought it out for their Negro League heritage. So that kind of makes sense why we could do a flat stitch batting on the back. But retro green undervisor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside. And this one's going to be made in China. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, Trignos is saying that's too simple. I feel like in a good hat collection, you have to have solid everyday wears, and it doesn't get any better than this. And this is a hat that it's a logo that you traditionally wouldn't think of when you think of a tonal green bottom. So, okay, in a good way. Okay, yeah. To me personally, this is definitely something that I would want to have in my collection, because obviously when you think of all navy tonals, you think of the Yankees. Obviously, you think of the Braves. You think of there are other teams that have navy tonals, but I think with just primarily the logo is white. I think the Seattle Steelheads is a good one. It shifts it up, it shakes it up a little bit. People will ask you, "Yo, what type of hat is that?" Or what's that? What's that from? Race, good job. Thank you. Florida West. Play West.
I was gonna say I don't think I'm gonna pick it up immediately, but this one is definitely gonna get scooped up by me maybe like a couple days after the drop. So
I agree.
Up next, San Francisco Giants. So just a basic on-field colorway, except black crown, black upper visor, orange button up top, and the Korean flag for the side patch.
Ooh.
Obviously, if you know the roster for the Giants this year, there's a reason for this. Flat stitch baddie on the back. I'm forgetting the guy's name right now, which is why I'm just blathering.
Grandson of the wind.
Yep. Who shiesty? There we go. Good gray undervisor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside. This one's going to be made in China, and yes, this one should be available at Great Mall as well. And last but not least, we dropped a version of this recently, so this is just another one. The kanji script, but also the flawless 17 in the front, navy blue crown and upper visor, icy blue for the button up top. This, of course, is a Shohei Ohtani 50 home run, 50 stolen base side patch.
Listen, you could boo all you want. That's a disgusting hat.
I know.
Eric, I don't care. And Ethan, boo. I will. I don't need. They're a division. Essentially a conference rival for us. And I gotta respect this hat. And is that an icy?
It is an icy.
Good Lord. Okay.
I know, dude. Right. Just I don't know what it is. Just this side patch, and especially with all the metallics and stuff, just looks larger than life.
I think it's the kanji spell out on the front.
Yeah.
And then and then you go to the side patch, and then you have just the body of that patch is metallic. And it's like every other, when you think of most hats that have like that base and then all the other characters within it, or like other metallics that contrast against it, that approach has never failed. That's clean. That's very, very clean.
Whoever came up with this, amazing job. Absolutely amazing job.
Boo this man.
But yeah, all this particular last little bit of this 4-pack variety pack. Sorry, I was stumbling my words there. Wednesday, April 30th, 7 a.m. West Coast time, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Hackclub.com, Hackclub app. And obviously, local teams will end up at local stores. So scoop them up, baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no,
God.
that's yeah, that's
I feel like I dropped the ball so hard on this week's episode.
no, you're good, man. Everybody tap back in. We had the legend AB on, and obviously the great one, Richard, come on. Ahead of a very, very great day for my Star Wars aficionados out there. If you know, you know. Next month is stacking up to be a really good month. I heard that my hats will be coming, very soon next
I
month. So,
cannot wait.
yes, May is already looking like a really stacked month. I didn't even know. So the funny thing is, before this episode, I didn't even know that AB May. I mean, anything can happen, but possibly we might actually drop in the same month, which is rare because I don't think we've ever had the opportunity to do that. So
Actually, because I will be moving the date on AB's other collection, so there's gonna be a little gap of time. Originally, based on the schedule, there was a very small gap of time, but now because of you and him, there's gonna be like a time frame where people can actually recoup their money and scoop up
yeah,
everything. So, which is good.
yeah, shouts out to AB and shouts out to Angie. She said, I'm still proud of you. See, that's listen.
Okay. She was gone running errands the entire show and just came inside, heard me say that, and that's why she did that in the chat. I appreciate it. I love you, babe.
Listen, chat. You gotta find yourself an Angie. Find someone that, regardless of what happens, proud of you and what you do. That's important.
So, actually, really good question by Ethan20, because I have heard this as well. So he asked, do y'all put your hats in MLB stadiums? I could have sworn I got the beer pack Angels at the team store in August last year. Once again, shout out to Interstate 19 because he was the one that did the beer pack Angels essentially. The answer is yes and no. Yes, in the sense where there are designs that our team has put together, we've ordered the hats, etc., and sold them. And other places, team stores, whatever, because we all have a New Era account, obviously have the right to do so. Now, whether they do it on purpose because it's one of our hats, that's kind of the question mark, because sometimes teams and other businesses will just see specs like, oh, this, like, just looking at the wording of how a hat is put together or a mock-up, it's like, oh, this is cool, we could probably sell this and carry it. And so I think that was a situation where that's happened.
Yeah. I mean, there's times, like I said, there's obviously, jurisdictions and agreements and competes and stuff that dictate, where we can actually stock our products too. So there's always that as well. But yeah, for the most part, I will say that Notre Dame. I'll say for the most part, I like the fact that it's online. Online actually gives people a chance to get, to be able to own it and get it. Whereas otherwise, if it was, relegated to a specific location or group of locations, and you may not be able to get there for some reason, just democratizes the buying process, lets you guys get stuff that you may not normally get a chance to get.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, a lot of good things happening this year. If you guys,
a lot of good things happening this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ben, what's been your favorite pack of the month so far?
Oh,
I mean, the month is pretty much over now, but
main event, actually, just because as a wrestling fan, that one I connected with that one the most. And I was gonna say, even though Bakunawa still, like, I love this pack that AV put together. But just from a storyline perspective, obviously my history with wrestling, that's why main event connected with me. And I'm not gonna lie, I did find a 7 3/8 Montreal Expos at the office, and I bought the shit out of it. I took a bullet for somebody on that one because it's still in my suitcase. There was a pretty significant dent in the crown, like in the the front for where the webbing and whatever.
Yeah.
So if somebody else had gotten it, I guarantee they would have returned it because it's defective.
Yeah.
So yes, I took a bullet for you guys. I guess
Listen,
in some weird way.
he's taking defective hats off the streets, ladies and gentlemen. Built a
Exactly.
statue. That's
And
what we do.
paying damn near full price for it. So
Listen, that's the sacrifices we make, to to keep y'all safe. I'm telling you.
how
I
about
mean,
you? Yeah, I was gonna say I'm always curious your opinions on these things because the fact that, as I've said multiple times before, you
mhm.
are the most stylish person in the hat game.
And I appreciate that. I'm normally very, I think that everyone expresses themselves stylistically really well. So I always felt weird, hearing that. But I mean, I'm honored whenever people do say that. This month for me was difficult. I think, like, for me personally, I love the all over cattle print. I know that wasn't for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, I've been planning on that hat since last year when Freddie dropped it, and I was gonna do that exact fit last year, but I just, didn't work out as far as for promo. Main event, even though that was a pack I did not get a hat from, like you, growing up in the 90s, Attitude Era, you know, that whole pack to me, how it was shot, the promo. I said it on the show. I said it was pack of the year. Definitely going to be in
Yeah.
that conversation when we revisit it, at the end of this year. And then Bakunawa, it's just, again, it's that educational factor where you have a lot of things going on as far as just culture. It's like the intersection of culture. It looks great. I'm wearing it. Like, this is a hat that I actually go and grab them for sure. So I think I like each of the packs for different reasons. I'll agree with you in the sense of, I think that main event, just because I think, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like cohesively, where it wasn't one-offs or variety packs, I think from a major store, being able to create a pack of wrestling hats or wrestling themed hats,
Yeah.
or, well, because we don't do themes, but colors that are very similar to things that we've seen in the ring. I would just say, like, I think that was the first of how well it was executed. And I think the expos, again, I told legit, I feel like it's his one of his best crowns to date, if not his best that he's done.
Yeah.
I just feel like it all came together really well. And yeah, I think I'll go main event as well. It's hard to rank these this month. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think for me, just from a fashion perspective, I think I could do something outfit wise for any one of these.
Oh yeah.
But I think the one that I think I have most people like, wow, like, I didn't really think I could do that, was the cattle pack. I think that was the one that got a lot of people talking about, wow, all over cow print hat. I don't know how you pull that off. And it's like, I got that comment a few times, like, I've not seen anybody pull off cow pants. That's crazy, So I was like, and I mean, yeah. So, and I mean, Gillionaire, I think that, to me, when you ask me what's my favorite, I know everyone essentially that have made each of these hats, so they're all great designers in their own right. Like Bakunawa, I expect that to sell out. I don't expect that to sit.
Correct.
Same with the main event, and then same with Cattle Pack. So for me, it's hard because it's almost like picking amongst my friends who I think did the greatest, when I appreciate the artistry of that each of them did. But I would definitely say, like Ben, the main event pack, just because of nostalgia for me, just linked the best. But I love all the packs. I think April for us has been, we've had great months and everything, but I think cohesively giving us 3 different styles in the same month.
Yeah.
Love it.
Here's the other thing I'll say in regard to April, which came as a shock to me in regard to how everybody took to all these collections, which you just gave very, very, very fine complimentary words about.
Mhm.
This April was like the lowest, not stock count, but like the lowest amount of things that were dropping, like units dropped.
Mhm.
Every other month so far has had like multiple variety packs, collections, and whatever. Somehow April was like the smallest, and it was just because of the fact that with Austin explained this, I think a week or two ago. Because of Lunar New Year, things came in a little bit slower, so more stuff was coming in April that will be dropping in May. So we really bulked up May. But the fact that pretty much every collection that we did drop for April was a bona fide hit, that was actually mind blowing to me,
Mhm.
and I love that, and I love that for everybody.
Yeah, I think this month was a reassertion of like where Hat Club really sits amongst, I think, stores and people in this space.
Yeah.
Which I like. And I like that everybody provided like their own design dimension and things like that. Again, even if you want to say the cattle pack was released last year, I think what I like that Freddie did this year was, you're watching the market, you're seeing how things are changing. Hey, let's
Yep.
throw some 940s in there. With Wilder, same thing, playing with teals, playing with different colors, keeping a cohesive theme, and then just saying how do we make this different but innovate it and keep them all woven together. Main event pack, same thing, lots of different creations, but each of them was good. And then timing, like, I mean, the main
Yeah.
event came literally the week before the main event. If you know, you know. So it's like, I think that's something you got to give hats off to, pun intended. Cattle pack again was something you guys have been asking about. It came back, still great reception. And then obviously Bakunawa, from when I think AB first started leaking those pictures, people were falling over it. And it's just it was just a natural progression. I think this was the perfect pack for AB to kind of kick off 2025 with, and obviously with everything else he has, cooking up for the rest of this year.
Yep.
The month just flowed naturally. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I think it just flowed really, really well. So I think if you want a textbook masterclass on how to run your drops and do things right, look at April from Hat Club. Respectfully,
No,
that's what I'm gonna
yeah.
say.
And I was gonna say, I don't take any credit for that in any capacity because I'm not the one that did the ordering. God damn it, I'm still here. Hold on one second.
You're
Let me
starting.
pull this out and redo it again.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was gonna happen.
uh, Aguirre, that's an Austin question because we had Master Pack last year that he dropped. So if you guys didn't know what pack that was Master Pack. So that was cooked up by Austin. So Austin, are we going to see a second iteration of the Master Pack this year? Oh, VT Kevin R with the spicy take. He said the main event pack was better than the
You know
actual
what?
main event of WrestleMania 41.
I saw. Yeah, Austin said probably not, which is a
Okay.
bummer. David Kearns asked the question what we thought of WrestleMania, and I'll be honest, like I was in Vegas,
Mm,
to hang out with a friend, which that was awesome.
yeah.
First time we'd seen each other since 2021, and I'll just say this: it was. I've been good friends with Josh Reddick, former Astro World Series champion.
Mm-hmm.
We've been friends for about 13 years now. So this first
Mm-hmm.
time I'd seen him since he was on the Diamondbacks, like right at the end of his MLB career.
Yeah.
And we were up till 5:30 in the morning
Mm.
going into Saturday, which case I was
Mm-hmm.
leaving that night. He had a fucking tea time at 8 a.m. that he somehow made. So
No, I mean, I definitely agree with Fluin, or like our Fluellen.
Elijah Llewellyn, yes.
Yeah, I agree with him exactly. Night one, which is crazy because you normally night one is like it's setting the groundwork. So to me, like some of the highlights of night one, obviously Stone Cold came out for night one, or no, excuse me, Stone Cold was night two. HBK was night one.
Yes.
So I mean, I do like how they use some of the superstars, for like attendance, kind of getting the crowd hyped up. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was, and again, I don't know how John Cena and how they're really using his heel. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna say something that wrestling fans, please don't crucify me. No disrespect to John. I mean, 17-time, world champ. The numbers speak for themselves. But I think him turning heel and the way that they went about doing it was strange. Not gonna lie. I think that they learned. I think that they learned from what happened with Taker as far as when I think Brock ended the streak and how mad people were about that. And I think in that moment they decided, okay, well, we're going to elevate John because this is his farewell tour. He's on the way out. At the same, because we know Cody has more time, to grow his lore, his legend, whatever the case may be, and that could be a compelling storyline. The main event missed two things. One, I was really confused when, I love Travis Scott musically, but I was very confused as to why The Rock wasn't there. I felt that The Rock really kind of made that whole thing make sense.
Yep.
The whole heel discussion of basically seeing you're too much of essentially a goody two shoe, and The Rock is kind of teaching you how to be this anti-hero type of figure, and you're having a similar heel run like he is, and then The Rock is nowhere on the main event stage. And then the press conference was oddly troll-like. It was like,
Yeah.
it was like very oddly troll-like. And again, it's not what we're used to seeing from John. And I think that's what makes it weird. Like, it was that moment should have been very, very top of the mark for John. And I feel like in the weirdest type of way, it was like the most silent breaking of a record I've ever seen, which is on a stage like that is extremely interesting. Oh yeah, kicks the EC. And that's, to be fair, I've not seen a lot of the press coverage because I was waiting until after Monday Night Raw to see if they were going to go into it.
It was not good. As Gillionaire is talking about, Rock going on Pat McAfee just made the whole situation worse. And yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, it just, to me, it was like I don't know. I mean, I don't like to say that they dropped the ball, but I just feel like they did. I felt like this was probably, I would say WrestleMania 40 in Philly was better than this,
Yeah.
which is surprising with the amount of real estate and the amount of resources Vegas has. It's like, why is that? Why did it happen that way? And it's like you basically have turned most of the viewing audience against John. So it's like you can't expect people to be chanting for him coming into the stadium, even if it is to break a record. It's like, so I don't know. They just positioned him very strangely for that.
I think the other thing is because I saw video clips of like Access when they actually had John Cena out there, and you can meet him and take photos and stuff like that. And in true John Cena form, he of course was cordial and polite with everybody, and it's just like, bro, if there was a time where you need to stick to kayfabe, it's that. But at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna disrespect John Cena because the dude's been a class act his entire fucking career.
Yeah.
But I agree from a writing perspective, like when they turned him heel, it was awesome. But then nobody in creative could like figure out, okay, well, what do we do with this now?
Yeah, it was interesting. And to My Name is Eric's point, I mean, you had Heels Have Eyes that West Side Gun dropped, that weekend. So it's like I appreciate what Travis Scott does from like a collaboration perspective, but I'm like, to me, that's an opportunity. If you're WWE, I mean, it's like that's a chance, that's an opportunity for you to do some merch that is unique. And then on top of that, like maybe you have merch that is available on WWE store, but then for people that are actually at the event, if you know about Fourth Rope and you know about West Side Gun and the things that he does for events for wrestling, I'm like, why do we not tap into that from a collaborative perspective? And I mean, and I get it. You're comparing, right? You're saying, okay, West Side Gun for me, like I love West Side Gun, I love Griselda, I love GXFR, I love the whole aesthetic of not only just what they do musically, Griselda, but I also like what they do from a fashion and apparel perspective. But it's like it was a money grab and a money play in the sense of, Travis Scott pretty much attaching his name to anything from a collaborative perspective shoots it through the roof. But me personally, like as from a fit perspective, I think you have a less of a harder time making the sell to real wrestling fans with Travis Scott versus with Griselda, where you look at his, archive of stuff he's done, and a lot of the stuff he's done has been wrestling themed, or at least some sort of wrestling nexus. So, I mean, I'm sure the apparel that Travis Scott did will still do well. It still will sell. I thought it was interesting with the wrestling belt that they did. But yeah, I think for most people, I felt like WrestleMania this year was a little bit disappointing. But I think it's unfair when you're comparing it to 40 because of just the way that 40 progressed and how the year had progressed and how that really built up. Like I think that year the storytelling and everything was A1 for 40. 41, it's just I feel like they got lost in the sauce somewhere. I just don't know where.
I agree with that. I actually, the one thing I'll say in regard to 41, it proved that Mania needed to go back to one night. Because like there were some great matches in there, but then there were some that were not so much. And it's just like, okay, just take your best storylines, which is what Mania was always ever about. Because then Raw after Mania is the restart button. And just stick with that. You only need one night to really do this. And I feel like, especially having it in Vegas, like they were trying to prove, a point of, hating on AEW, because AEW had been a stronghold for wrestling, post COVID and even before, which is why Double or Nothing is going to be in Arizona this year. Like they really screwed that up for AEW. But most importantly, it's just like, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I'd rather
No,
go back to one night.
I think it was just, I think
It was
to
a cash
everybody.
grab, really, more than anything.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, they had record performances. I mean, you saw Triple H afterwards when they were covering night 2 and just talking about the weekend. It was definitely more of a stat padding moment. I mean, and that to me is the unfortunate part. It's like, yeah, I think somebody said 39 was like 39 and 40 to me was like for back-to-back years. It's like, how do you top 39? And then 40 comes and it's like, oh man, that's just as good, and then 41 is kind of like, really?
Yeah.
So that to me was definitely interesting. I mean, and there are other storylines that I'm really interested to see. Like you had Randy Orton wrestling on night 2, and it's just like he doesn't even know who his opponent is coming into it, and it's just like, okay, I guess. I mean, there were just a lot more questions that I had, than answers with night 2. But yeah, I could have done without night 2. If they would have put the Cena match on night 1, I think that would have been.
I mean, and that was kind of it. It's just like all they do is throw Cena, as an extra match on night 1, and then it's just like, boom, that's it. Mania's over. That's it. Then we're done. We don't need a night 2.
Yeah, I mean, I
night
think
2 just seemed like they were just throwing whatever they could together, just because the main event was obviously going to be Cody and Cena.
Yeah, I mean, you had, I think it was a Rey Mysterio. What was that night that was injured? So they had somebody else come in for him, and then you had Yeet, obviously. I
no
think,
disrespect to Randy Orton and what Joe Hendry did, but at the same time, the Randy Orton match reminded me of years ago when it's like John Cena didn't have a match and we need to figure out what to do with him, and then he got squashed by the Undertaker, and it's just like, why did we do this?
yeah, I think like I said, it's the cohesive storytelling, and I think a part of that just was the storytelling was disjointed. I mean, you just kind of injected people in there because you needed to have some basis so that it made sense when it came to that, like even like Travis Scott getting crossroaded, like mid match. It's just like, I was like, it was like, okay, I guess. I mean, that's your clippable moment, I think, that you could put out there. But I said to someone, I was just like, yeah, this is Travis Scott for them. It's like when Tyson went on to, well, not even that, because I feel like Tyson was legitimately like a person you didn't want to tussle with. So
yeah,
I think at that time, Tyson was like top of the top as far as engagement, being a celebrity at that time. And I think that's what Travis Scott is now, so I understand the move, but it's like things could have been done differently.
Yeah.
But
and Jacob Fittitz, Cena versus Orton. If that's John Cena's final match, like, I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, I mean, legend killer.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. There's one other match that would make even more sense, and I would hate to see it happen, and that is John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
because they both came out of OVW about the same time, and it's just like,
yeah, because Travis Scott versus Bad Bunny. That would be, yeah. I mean, like that would definitely be like it sounds like a celebrity death match almost. Like pairing right there. But yeah, but in short, yes. Night 1, good. Night 2, Edge. I don't know. I don't know if
Edge is in AEW.
Yeah, and I don't know if Edge really wants to do that.
Edge is there, man. He's doing things in AEW. So,
and David, I feel like that just makes sense. I mean, you give him the record, and then essentially Cody retires him fully. Then, and that's why I said with Rock not even really being on the active roster per se, and just kind of being in there for cameos and stuff. Yeah. It's like that to me, it was just a lot. It was a lot going on. I don't know. Like, I think they're grasping for straws right now. I think they're grasping for straws. But we'll see. We shall.
will. You gotta send me that photo, Elijah. I want to see it. Rated R superstar. Actually, so I got two things. I meant to mention everything that's going on with the cattle pack when I felt like that would have been a good transition, but then we just started talking about wrestling. So
Exactly.
keep an eye on your emails in regard to cattle pack. We had some discussion about it, so I have to write the email after the show tonight. So I will do that. We will get that guys over to you guys as quickly as possible. May not be the answer everybody wanted, but it is probably the best case scenario or the best solution we could do without, having to deal with bots, because bots are just a very interesting evolution of the game. For anybody who's been in the sneaker game for a long time, Tef, you know what I'm talking about in regard to this.
Yep.
Like, no matter what we do to try and combat it, like, there's always going to be technology evolving. Like, watch Terminator 3.
Yep.
Rise of the Machines. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about in regard to this. So, we put precautions in place. It kind of worked, but I would say if anything, it actually, like, we were able to find bot-related orders quicker. And then cancel them and et cetera, et cetera. So, yes. So there are going to be more that will be available for sale. Elijah just sent me the photo. Oh, shit. That was a hell of a place to be to grab that photo.
Case in EDC, I agree. Like a password page would be nice, but it's like, then it's just the sanctity of the password, right? Someone gets it and then they send it to someone else and then they send it to someone else and then propagation. So it's like
correct. And we've dealt with that before, especially when we did like Discord exclusives where it's like one person in Discord shares the password, then all of a sudden just like boom, it explodes out there. So
so I mean, I think that it's just it's really difficult kind of to get stuff like that. Big X said, how many hats are going to the same address? Well, the funny thing is,
dude,
it's not always like that.
There was, I will say this. I'm not gonna out the guy anymore. Well, there was one guy in Houston who, I mean, he had every order except one. Like, we let one slide through purposely. So I don't know if it was his size or not. Screw him, if whatever. But every other order we canceled. And then there was, when you say address and stuff like that, the thing that people aren't really thinking about is people will misspell their addresses or add details to their address that aren't necessarily there, and it will get through because the house, like, except for like the house number stays the same, the city, the state, and obviously the zip code, but whatever the street they live on, like, they'll add an extra T in there, or so it's not necessarily stuff that if you were just like reading through and just typing stuff in, you would catch. I'm pretty good about this stuff, and our customer service team is really good about this stuff. So as I say, we found and canceled whatever we could. So,
and sometimes again, like bots are not always just simple, but bots are not always just simply like always just stuff like that. Other times there's like different types of ATC services, add to carts. Where again, it's not so much about it's entering it so many times. It's like sometimes once you get past the screen, like let's say that you add it to cart and then you get past the captcha. Well, then at that point, it's just a fingers race, pause as far as like just getting to the payment screen and then checking out. So there's like software or plugins that you can put into your browser that essentially all pre-autofill all of that if it's a Shopify, client or whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of different ways that you can game the system to where, like, again, how are you going to stop a person that gets through the other stuff manually and then just essentially uses a bot to enter their payment and their shipping information? Exactly. That's technically not illegal, because they jumped through all the other hoops and steps to get there. And a computer can definitely enter that information a lot quicker than a human can.
Yeah.
So, that's really the situation where, like, that's how it is. So the best thing like you said, we're, companies I think are trying, to figure out ways, but again, software works by certain types of rules. And with those types of rules, there's certain vulnerabilities to it. And that's why deleting botting is difficult, because we're not, when platforms are typically developed, people don't really think about the vulnerabilities. They just think about functionality, and the vulnerabilities come out through testing. So red hatting, other types of exercises from a software perspective. So for the most part, I saw a lot of live good wins. I did see a lot of people that I knew that were actually humans that got it, which, shows that like Ben said, we're doing the best that we can, and we hope the hats land in real human hands.
Yes. And I will say there is a 0% chance that a bot will be able to scoop up any of the remaining stock. 0%. And you can quote me on that. 0%. So the email, I got to write it up tonight. So it's either going to go out like Friday night or Saturday morning, first thing, I think. And then anyway. Yeah, that's all I can say right now. So just keep an eye and ears out. And then, like I said, I will explain the email that the plan we came up with will be successful. But to quote the great late Rando Macho Man Savage, you may not like it, but you must accept it.
Listen, somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. No, and you know what? You know what's funny, Kicks and EDC? I've thought about that too. Like, but then that just becomes weird, because like, so EQL, like Ben, you know about EQL, right?
Yeah.
I feel like EQL is probably like, that's another fair way to do it too. I mean, for highly sought after releases. But then it's like, now you're limiting everybody to one, and then essentially that removes the way for people to get multiple on release day. But I think, to Kicks and EDC's point, that'll probably, it definitely is an equalizer. No pun intended, because that's what EQL actually stands for. It's equal,
Yeah, exactly.
or fair raffle. So
I think it's the first time I ever bust out my Macho Man Randy Savage impersonation in like quite some time.
yeah, no, I think that was historically spot on. I feel like if we, Clip Crew, whoever's looking at this, you have to put Ben next to Randy, and they have to be like saying similar things. So then, and we'll let chat decide. We'll let Instagram or whatever platform we put on decide who's the better Macho Man. That's like really between Ben and Randy.
My wife brings up a good point. It's almost like I have a tattoo of Macho Man Randy Savage on my body somewhere, which I actually do. So.
Or a tribute is hilarious. Or a tribute to him. Oh man.
The last thing I'm gonna throw out there is I saw a couple people mention or talk about the hat that I'm wearing. So always got my favorite glass, of course, for every show. I'm gonna go to the big screen real quick. So I didn't have a choice in this, like it just kind of happened. But this is gonna be an LA exclusive, not this upcoming Saturday, but I'm setting it for like the first weekend of May.
Oof. Yeah. Well, that's nice.
The things that surprisingly we can get away with.
Yeah, I'm very, very surprised. Because there was a hat that we wanted to do last year or earlier this year.
Hard rejection on.
Yeah, I think it was just a war of attrition. They were just like, all right, we'll give them this one.
I was gonna say I pitched it to Justin. He's the one that mocked it up, sent it back to me, and I'm like, yep, it's perfect. And I was debating on pink bottom on this one, I'll admit, but it's just like, nah, just because I just kind of want to go, plain Jane colorway on this one. That's the only reason why I threw it out. But it showed up yesterday, finally. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I got one for myself, and I got one for Keyshawn Bartholomew, who plays for the Oregon basketball team. So got that out to him, as well as his Expos main event hat. So
he got a great care package. That's
dude,
awesome.
I know. So I was like, I didn't emphasize like, bro, you have no idea how good you got it with these. I felt like that would have been a little too arrogant. But
you were a lucky duck.
You were a lucky duck. But I was glad I got to throw him a big thank you in regard to the Pac-12 tournament last year. It's just like, you know what?
Mhm.
It's not often that you gotta do something cool for somebody who, you know,
Mhm.
did something awesome in your life. And it's like, you know what? Hey, kudos to you, my friend.
No, 1000%, man. But for those of y'all that have been brave enough to hang with us and our Ben shenanigans and Tefaholic,
A lot of
talk,
shenanigans.
a lot of shenanigans. Shouts out to you guys. We appreciate you. It's been this week's episode of Recap. If you guys missed anything, great thing is you can watch this on YouTube and you can scroll this back.
Oh,
We'll get
yeah.
into the hats. If you just need to see AB's face again, watch it as many times as you need. But Bakunawa dropping tomorrow. Some great hats also dropping on Friday. App exclusive early access for the Anakin Braves, or
Yeah.
the Atlanta Braves, that's dropping as an app exclusive on Friday, as well as some other variety packs. And if there's anything I missed, that's the great thing about that scrub button. You can
Oh,
see and you can listen.
there is
to
one
it.
more thing.
Oh,
Call of Duty Black Ops Community
yeah.
Day tomorrow.
Yep.
Austin, I know will not be joining us, so I'll be running things and looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna tune in and see how it goes. I've been missing the Indiana Jones playbacks that you've been doing, Ben. So I got to go back through and watch them.
You want to hear the sad news?
What?
As I'm laughing. So yesterday was the last episode of Indiana Jones, so I finally got through that game. Only took me what 3.5, 4 months. But,
Only 3.
well, I mean, when I'm only playing like 2 hours once a week, I mean, it does stretch that long.
Yeah.
But last night was the very last episode of Flip the Script ever.
What?
We're not doing it anymore. So, but we
Yeah.
are still going to be doing the monthly community day stuff, which honestly I feel like is a better use of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we can all agree with that. So,
Yeah.
I got to stick to the script now. Yeah, of course.
Angie is on fire tonight. Shouts out to Angie. Like, she right at the keyboard. Just, it's
Why? That's why I
okay.
married her, man. She,
Okay.
I was gonna say, I can usually be pretty quick witted, but she can hang with the best of them.
Sharpshooter at the OK Corral. Listen. But like you said, guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Till next week, we will see y'all.
And my beard will be shorter next week. I promise. I've been talking about trimming this damn thing for like months, and it needs to happen.
It's time. It's time.
Ugh.
All right, y'all. Till next week.
Take care,
We're
guys.
out of here.